All right. Vi- All right. Facebook video ads are one of my favorite strategies. All right. Facebook video ads are one of my favorite strategies I've been using since the very beginning of me running Facebook ads. And now it's really becoming a hot topic because Facebook has just added so many improvements and continues to every single week almost to the video ad platform. So for this, I've got a bonus here. I've got basically a webinar I did with Digital Marketer. I've done these for my members too, and I continue to. I've got even more trainings inside there, but this is a good webinar where I go over the whole thing, and it's about an hour and a half long, and we'll break it up here for you. But I did this webinar with Molly Pittman over at Digital Marketer, and it's all about Facebook video ads. So enjoy.
It will be in the members area in the next 24 to 48 hours, just like normal. So, yeah, we're here, and any questions that you have, please pop them in the questions box. Susie, our community manager, is in there answering anything, any questions, and then of course, we'll take questions at the end, if you have any.
Cool. Cool. All right, you guys ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Ready.
so we've got a lot to cover, so make sure you're taking notes, and and we'll kind of go through it all, and so we'll definitely have some time to answer some questions at the end. So what we're going to cover, I'm thinking today, and it's basically like Molly had said, it's Ralph and I. So I'm the founder of Dominate Web Media. Ralph is my partner, and he is the COO of Dominate Web Media and manages the agency and the management of the coaching program. We also have a high-end coaching program that we work with people so we can kind of help them along with their Facebook ads too. So, and along with Facebook Ads University. So, what we're going to cover today is basically why Facebook video ads, okay? Why you should be doing them if you're not already. What we learned from the recent webinar that we were able to sit in on that our Facebook account manager had invited us to. It was kind of an agency only, so you have to put in your agency business manager and ID and everything to get into it. But we got to sit in on a pretty cool webinar with Facebook Corporate about upcoming kind of cutting edge new features with Facebook video ads, and also some really just best practices with Facebook video ads. So I'm going to show you guys some video frameworks and case studies, okay? Creating campaigns, how to basically create a Facebook video ad campaign the right way. And towards the end, what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through some Facebook, kind of how to implement this within your entire funnel, okay? Because as you're going to see is that we're not on this webinar to tell you that you should be replacing your Facebook ads with video ads. That's not what we're trying to tell you. This is in addition to, okay? It's going to complement everything else you're doing, and at the end, we'll really tie it all together in a visual manner, okay? And a mind map. So we've also got a video equipment list and software guide that you guys can download, and that really is a big holdback for people. So I hope that's really helpful. So and then we'll cover some video reporting, Q&A, of course, and all that. So let's get right into it. Actually, real quick, I didn't put anything about me and Ralph. I just was pulling up the Power Editor, and honestly, this is probably just enough. Like Molly had said, we have an agency and a coaching business, and we've got about, you see 28 accounts in here inside our business manager for Dominate Web Media, and our average monthly spend is anywhere between 150 to 250,000. This is actually low because it's that time we're going into summertime, so the ad spends are lower. But we typically spend around 35 to 50,000 a month on Facebook ads between our clients and stuff. So we're in here a lot, and we've been doing this for a long time. So the book that I just published with Perry Marshall, that's in Barnes and Nobles, called The Ultimate Guide to Facebook Advertising, is actually my second book. I self-published a book back in 2010 on Facebook ads, more of as an authority piece. But so we've been kind of doing this a lot, and we've made a lot of mistakes along the way, and we try to relay those mistakes and also what works to you guys. So hopefully that's cool.
Hey, by the way, that was 35 to 55,000 per week.
Yeah,
usually.
sorry, did I say per month?
We've got some clients that run sort of just like a weekly campaign, then we'll take a week off. So I think last week was like 57,000 or something, 58,000. So, but anyway,
Mhm.
there's a lot under 20 or 30 different clients, lots of different industries. So we'll try and relay that as much as possible here today in office hours, depending on what your industry is, because I think this stuff definitely applies to everything, whether you're, an e-commerce site or whether you're selling coaching products or everything in between to a small business owner. So
Cool.
anyway, yeah,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah, exactly. And that's the whole thing is just take what you're learning and try to figure out how you can implement it with your situation. You might have to tweak things a little bit, but that's what we try to do as much as possible. So growth in, sorry, I'm looking at a message here real quick. Okay, so growth in TV consumption is down 2%. Okay, growth in digital consumption is up 267%. We all know it's growing, it's blowing up. TV still like outweighs digital. Okay, TV consumption is a lot higher, but basically digital is really growing really fast because people are consuming digital throughout the entire day, right? They're no longer just watching TV. 75% of the people access their second screen during a TV show. Why? Because they like to multitask while watching TV so they can still be productive. So it's interesting there. But this is interesting too, just about Facebook in general. There's 800 million users now that log on to Facebook every single day, an average of 14 times a day. So you guys know these stats, but these are they're a lot bigger than they used to be not that long ago. So it's pretty interesting. People are there. It's just figuring out how to get your message in front of them the right way is what we're finding. So this is really cool here. This right here is a stat. These are stats that I pulled and screenshots from my webinar with Facebook. So that webinar we got to sit in on. So video viewing, it really is shifting to mobile, and it's building brands in a major way. So the share of mobile and tablet video plays have a 532% increase in the last 2 years. So, but what I like the best about this slide is if you look at purchase intent. We used to always say, hey, you could run ads to mobile, and now with Facebook's cross-device retargeting, we can lead gen with mobile, and then we can retarget people back on desktop, right? Because it's hard to get a conversion on a mobile device. Well, that's actually not the case anymore if you have mobile optimized order forms. And we're seeing that there's a lot less distractions on mobile. People are they're watching longer videos and stuff. So purchase intent on a smartphone is 64% compared to 52% on a PC. Pretty interesting. So this webinar is about video, but we're seeing the lowest hanging fruit in mobile, even though we're seeing really good results in desktop too. So, but this is just basically Facebook and Instagram account for 23% of the total time spent on mobile devices. That's everything, like texting and playing with other apps like Twitter and Snapchat. Okay, that's more than all those other apps combined. So people really are spending a lot of time there. So this one here is what I really love here. Facebook and YouTube are now, according to this stat, pretty much equal in the number of minutes watched. Okay, on a monthly basis per user. So they're averaging 53 on a desktop on Facebook, 54 minutes here on YouTube. What's really powerful here is down here you've got 182 average minutes on Facebook compared to 31 on YouTube. It's crazy, but it makes sense. Think about it, because people are scrolling their newsfeed when they're bored, when they're waiting in line, when they're on the bus, right? And then they see a video and they watch it. People don't do that on YouTube because it's not a social network. So it's a really big deal. People are definitely on there, so so definitely realize that. And there's been a couple major factors that have been a big boost in this whole mobile growth in the last 6 months. I mean, video growth. One is the Ice Bucket Challenge. Like, the Ice Bucket Challenge was a big deal. It got a lot of people, older demographics as well, and to understand, to get out of their shell and use video. And then also it just showed how powerful video is on Facebook. And then it also got a lot of big brands realizing how big Facebook can be also. And so it's pretty interesting. So, and then you also have this autoplay function. Now, when you see a video in the news feed, it autoplays, but it's silent. That was a huge, huge boost for Facebook. When they did that, it was the best move they ever made. So the kind of the inspiring story behind the inspiration behind that, by the way, from the developers of this at Facebook is Harry Potter. It's the Harry Potter movies when the guys are, they're reading that newspaper and it's like coming alive, the pictures and stuff. That's where the inspiration of this whole videos autoplaying in the newsfeed is pretty interesting. So quickly, let's get through this. So basically, video posts have increased 94% year over year. There's 4 billion views per day now. 65% of these video views happen on mobile. And if you look on the right here, 53% of all views come from shares. That's a big deal. And part of this webinar, you're going to see some of these examples towards the end that you can actually create promotional type of video ads that will get shared, okay? And that literally we have videos going to sales pages and order forms that people are sharing because we've done it the right way. And we're going to show you how to do that today, okay?
And remember, you don't pay for shares.
Yeah, exactly.
That's free impressions for you. So if you can make something really engaging and get more shares, it's awesome. I mean, it just totally kills it.
Exactly. And the other thing, Facebook, that's their biggest, that's their most important metric when it comes to giving you their relevance score, which is like the quality score. So if you get a higher ratio of shares, then guess what happens? Your cost per click go down. You get higher relevance scores. You get more impressions. So it's not just about getting that. So Savage Race, they talk about the bottom here, running Facebook video ads. Our business would not exist without Facebook ads. We've leveraged Facebook ads to transform us into a respected national brand with video ads giving us the best return on spend. Okay, so why not video? Well, let me know if any of these kind of ring true for you, because I know all of them have for me over the last few years. Lack of video equipment, not knowing what to buy, pure overwhelm with that whole situation, which don't worry, we've got a great guide for that situation for all of you on there, whether you're a like a brand new video marketer or an expert. We've got kind of all three levels, and depending on where you're at, to face to camera, screen record. So lack of kind of video technical skills, afraid of the camera, okay, stage fright kind of, don't understand the just the whole Facebook ads interface, which we're going to obviously walk through today, and then just don't know what to say. That you don't know how long the video should be, etc., etc., and just pure overwhelm. All right. So do any of these sound familiar to you at all? Well, I know they do, because we're trying to get our clients to do video all the time, and it can be tough sometimes, right, Ralph?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, it's the biggest thing. It's just the fear of getting in front of the camera, I think, is one of the biggest things. They just don't know what to say unless they're sort of used to being on stage. I mean, coaching guys who are doing like business coaching and that kind of thing, they have no problem with it. But as we'll show you, you don't necessarily have to do it that way. But those are the fears that stop people from doing it. So.
And number one,
stop you too, as I recall.
Yeah, exactly. If you have the equipment, you can do it. If you're afraid of the camera, like, oh my gosh, not that long ago at all. First of all, I still don't consider myself good on camera, unless I've got it really kind of, I practiced it, and I've done a lot of prep. But I literally, when I first started doing video, I would have to take like a couple shots before I'd hit the record button. Otherwise, you'd think I was a robot behind the camera.
So not shots of wheatgrass, Molly.
No, not shots of wheatgrass or green juice.
That's great.
Yeah, that's definitely not a shot with a couple chasers. So, and I'm not kidding. Like, I did this multiple times with multiple videos back in the day. So
go back and find those and watch Keith slurring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you just got to. But what I found out was, guess what? I didn't need to do that after I recorded like 10 or 15 videos. Yeah. It's all it is repetition, pure repetition. Right. So
just becoming comfortable.
Yep. So exactly. So you can do that even if you're not ready to post it. You record it like you think you're going to, edit it, go through it. You start practicing this, you'll get it. I promise you. So
Molly, you're gonna be doing these soon too, by the way.
Doing what now?
Yes, I can feel it.
Yeah.
Video, face on.
Oh, of course.
Of course, right.
Yeah, we'll be doing some of our podcast episodes with video too. So
yes.
That's right.
Especially with some events coming up. So we'll have to, the podcast movement. Okay, so let's get into this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go through some frameworks, okay, some case study kind of style of video, so you can start to understand and think about how you can use video in your business. Okay. Number one is the authority introduction style of video. What this is this is the video that I still do, and how I first started running Facebook ads, because I knew nobody knew who the heck I was, and I wrote a self-published book. It was 120 pages called The Complete Guide to Facebook Advertising, and so I would open my video with that. I open it now with my other book, right? But I would always do that because you want to give people instant credibility somehow. So even if you don't have any kind of credibility yet, create a really cool name for one of your products. This is what Brendan Burchard used to always do. Hey, this is Brendan Burchard, creator of the, so-and-so. This is Keith Krantz, creator of the Facebook Advertising Blueprint. And then you sound like they don't know how big or small that program is. So do that right away. And then I would, I don't have time to go into the whole framework of this video, but I would run a video ad. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, Keith. You're establishing yourself as an authority.
Yep. Yeah. So it's because that's the biggest. I see one of the most important reasons of doing video is to build trust and authority. So what you're doing here is you're doing two things at once. You're establishing yourself as authority, and then they're also seeing you. So by the time they click through to your landing page, whether it's a webinar or software, or this was a squeeze page. Okay, this just took them to a lead page, a squeeze page for my Facebook checklist, and this is what I would do, and it worked great. And this way, I knew that I was branding myself all along the way. So I could run other ads, but I always would want to run this too, so people would see me. They'd see me in the news feed, and they would think I was bigger than I really was. So that's what you want to do. So we do that with a lot of our clients. That's the first type of kind of video you're going to do. So the next one is the proof testimonial ad. Okay, there's a lot of different ways to do these. This is one I love using as an example, because in this case we actually send traffic right to Amazon. So when we're not managing this right now, but when we would send traffic right to Amazon. And normally I would always say, never send Facebook traffic, cold traffic. This is targeting cold audiences, not warm audiences, okay? Never send cold traffic right to a product page. Because especially to an Amazon page where you don't have any room to create sales copy and build desire and talk about your frustrations and stuff like that and have social proof. You got social proof because there's reviews. But so in this case, why can we do that? Why can we skip that whole process of warming people up and generating a lead? And it's because we're using a video. And not only a video, but a third-party testimonial story-based video. Okay, I talked about this up actually on stage at Traffic and Conversion. I did one of the 15-minute panels up during the Wicked Smart panel. I talked about this specific case, and it was an example of why you should be doing video. And you'll see down here it's got 3,300 likes, 1,800 shares, and basically in this 1-minute low quality video, dark webcam, she talks about how she no longer has osteoporosis. She doesn't have those symptoms that causes. And
keep it looking like darker and sort of unprofessional. I think it makes it more authentic.
Absolutely, yep. And I put that in the article that you guys just posted last night when I talked about this stuff. And think about it, this is one of the holdbacks for people is because of the quality, video, right? And think about what people want to see in Facebook. They want to see, videos from their friends or relatives, right? A funny video, an entertaining video, a heartwarming video, and they don't want to see a high quality, a super highly produced commercial, right? They don't want to see a commercial of a car or something like that. So think about that. If you have a video, it doesn't have to necessarily be higher quality. So that's just something to think about. And in this, because it's a third-party testimonial, you even get more leeway there because it's somebody else. It's not your brand making the video. So it's all about iPhones. So if you want to get a testimonial from a client and they won't do it, just send them a flip camera, a phone in the mail, and see if they'll do it as a reciprocal. So, but
I think it doesn't have to be long. It doesn't have to be highly produced. It just has to be genuine. And almost like the worse the video looks sometimes, especially for a testimonial like this, the more it looks genuine, like it's actually coming from somebody. They didn't go into a studio because you hired them or brought them in, and did this highly produced thing, which, has its place too. But for something like this, for pure selling, it totally does great. And it's super simple to do, and it's easy for you to get from any of your customers. And let me just say one thing on this one, Keith, is that as all you guys know who are advertising on Facebook right now, I mean, you really have to be careful about your ad copy, what your claims, what you say, stay within the terms of service, all that kind of stuff. Look at on this video ad right here, it does make a claim, but the thing we figured out is that, and this could change tomorrow obviously, is that when it's in a video and it's coming from somebody that's not you, and they say something about your product and how great it is, you can put that claim in quotes above the video to sort of draw that out, as long as it's legitimate, it's actually in the video itself. Like, that's a direct quote from what she said in that video. So it's a way of being cool with Facebook's terms of service and policy guidelines, but also getting your message out there to show that, yeah, my product, service, whatever it happens to be, does actually work, and click here to get it. So.
Exactly. And another way to do testimonial videos, well, back to this one for just a second, is that so basically in this case we drive right to Amazon, and they're getting ROI off, they're getting products they're selling products, and they're also Amazon, part of the algorithm is just visits to the page as long as there's conversions, and it's driving way more traffic to that product page, which has taken their listing from obscurity to page 1 and 2 or 1 depending on what's going on. But basically that's a big deal. So the other thing this does is you don't get as much negative feedback, and people, when they see a video, they don't write nasty comments, and then a lot of times people will come and they'll write good comments, so you get more shares. These shares, whenever you have I call this a 2-to-1 ratio of likes to shares. If you have a 2-to-1, so if you have, for every 10 likes you get 5 shares in any ad, okay, that means you're doing a really good job, and you're probably going to have a really high relevant score. Okay, and that's what videos will do in most cases, in a lot of cases. So you get that factor too, and then it starts to build up even more as you get more social proof. So here's another one. This is one with Betty Rocker, who is running this video testimonial ad, and it's being displayed to people that have visited the sales page but have not yet bought. Okay, so it's a sales refusers ad, and look at this quality score here, relevant score, 10 out of 10. That's linking to a sales page. People, like, there's this huge misconception out there that you can't drive traffic to lead pages anymore, or you can't drive to sales pages. It's totally wrong. You can if you do it the right way, right? This ad is only being shown to people that have visited already. They're already warmed up. You're not gonna get a ton of negative feedback on that. You're not gonna get a bunch of people bouncing right back to your page because they've already seen you. You know what I mean? So now, in this one before, this one isn't going to warm audiences. This is going to cold audiences. But this is an interesting video, right? So you're having this one, the relevant score isn't going to be 10 out of 10, but it's going to be high. So now let's talk about. I'll give you before we go on, I'll give you another example of how to do one of my favorite ways to do a video, to do a testimonial video, is this. What I did here in this video is I started out with me, right? Then I transitioned, into a testimonial, okay? See that? That's Graham English. So this isn't a testimonial about me because I was talking about the machine, but I've done this with my YouTube video ads and stuff. What I do, I've recorded a bunch recently, is I do like a 30-second intro or a minute, and then I pan, and then I transition to like a 30 seconds or a minute of like my best couple video testimonials, then back to me with a call to action. Okay, you can do that in Facebook all day long. So that is that. So now this is one of my favorite new strategies, and you got to get creative to do this, and you got to, be okay with giving away a lot of stuff. But this is what I call the content with call to action video ad. So Bree, aka Betty Rocker, we're trying to figure out. We wanted to retarget people that have been to one of her blog posts. It's getting a lot of traffic to it, and she's got an epic blog post. She's getting traffic there from guess where? Facebook, right? So we're amplifying a blog post, and for anybody that reads that blog post, we want to show a video ad and then take them from Facebook to a sales page. But she's like, you know what? I don't really like my sales page already has a sales video on it. I don't really want to do another sales, like a mini, 30-second or 2-minute sales video on Facebook to another sales video. She likes to provide a lot of value, right? So we're like, okay, do you have anything that you can content video, and then you can still link to your sales page? And she's like, well, I've got this green smoothie video I did like 2 years ago or something like that. It's got like 500,000 views. People loved it. But she already knows people like it. It's almost a 6-minute video. And so we're like, okay, let's post the video, post a smoothie video, and then of course the best, if you can get the recipes of the smoothie, why not get 30 days of recipes, right? That's the product that they're buying, basically, 30-day meal plan. And so that's what she did. And then she came up with a great idea as we were brainstorming. He's like, well, how about if I put the whole recipe in the post itself? And I'm like, that's the best idea ever, because the more you can make this a shareable post. So what she did here is, if you see this next slide right here, it's the entire recipe in the post itself. And at the bottom of the post, it links to a sales page, okay? And if you back up here, the call to action button, which you're not going to see here on a preview, they don't show the call to action button on a mobile ad in a preview usually. But there'll be a button right here, or it'll be at the end of your video, depending on a few factors. And that button will also go to the sales page, okay? And then but if you look at this here, that's the wrong, actually, stat. Yeah, actually, this stat right here, this is actually wrong. This right here needs to go on this other slide. My bad. Sorry. Let's just do this. Yeah. So this first one I showed you guys that was is going to a sales page it's had you'll see 93 checkouts, average checkout cost of $13 and $17. Not too bad, right, for a $47 product. So you add that up, you multiply that out, every $1,000 spent, every $1,400 spent generates $4,700, and that's just on that front end product. So this next example here, okay, the content with call to action, it's going to the same sales page, but these are the stats for that video here. 35 seconds and 50 seconds average video duration for this video. That's a lot, by the way. 2 cents per video view, which 2 to 5 cents is average no matter what. Even in my industry too, I'm getting 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents for business audiences. But this is a big deal. Typically, if an average video length is going to be more like around 20 seconds. This one is long, and it's getting sales too. Look at this, $13 per checkout on desktop, and there's only one checkout on mobile on this one, but the only reason for that is because the mobile order form's not done yet. So it's going to an order form that doesn't work well on mobile. So that will be probably similar, because most other stuff is in a little bit. So,
hey Keith, what are the interests on that ad set? I forget now. Those aren't website custom audiences.
Yes, it is. This one is a website custom audience. Right. This one is targeting people who have read the blog post, or like fans that are not yet customers in some cases, but mostly she has a blog post about it's a recipe, basically. It's a 3-day recipe guide. Yep. And it's an epic 3,000 word article that is amplified with Facebook. And I'll show you guys the whole process here at the end of the webinar, how this works, okay?
Yeah, so, just so we're clear though, I mean, this is going to people who basically, this one right here went to people who visited a blog post, so they showed interest in this particular product and this area. The one prior to that, the one that you just showed with all the sales, those were people who actually went to the checkout but then did not buy or did not.
Exactly.
Yeah, so just keeping that in mind. I mean, the audiences are slightly different on these, but they're both warm. They're warmer. This one is colder, and this one we just started, and obviously the mobile shopping cart isn't helping us here. So I think she paused that mobile one and is really pushing most of her traffic towards desktop, which totally makes sense. You got to think about that. They're going right from here, and then you're going to be ordering, through a multi-form order form. You should probably, make it to a placement that actually makes the most sense, where they can actually enter in all the fields in desktop. You would be able to do that.
Right, but when the mobile order form is done, the numbers will probably be similar.
Yeah, totally.
Because it's just, if it's a good mobile order form, then people will buy. In certain cases for sure. So it's just like we're seeing with some of our other clients, where mobile buyers are better. So let's see here. So that, and these are both warm traffic videos. She's also running a video ad to a lead magnet too, to cold traffic. So it's you can use it for whichever. It's not about doing it all at once either. It's let's start it with one campaign at a time. So just like she did, she didn't do all this at once. Another one is just think about like a TV commercial. If you have a local client, people they want to do like local radio and local TV, and like, why wouldn't you do a video with Facebook when you can target everybody in your geographic area for so cheap? And you're going to get 10 times the impressions probably, and actions than you will with a TV ad in certain cases. But I would do both if I was doing TV. I wouldn't just not do TV. But point is asked them if they had any video, and they said, yeah, we have a 30-second video that we've had produced to do a commercial. And so I said, okay, let's run Facebook video ads since you're not running the commercial. And what we did was I said, send me the video, and I added a little call to action. You can't see it here, but a little lower third text that says click the link in this post for your coupon, right? So this says click like because this was back, we were actually driving traffic to a Facebook landing page back then, and you had to click like before you could actually get to the coupon. So it's kind of we were trying to get a like and a lead at the same time almost. So, but it worked really well actually. This right here is an affiliate or joint venture promotion. So I recently promoted the machine launch for Digital Marketer, and the first campaign I ran was a video ad driving traffic to I believe this one goes to their landing page actually, but this is this video I just showed you a second ago. This is me, and then it goes into a testimonial with Graham talking about the machine, and so what I'm doing is I'm building my custom audiences. So we'll get to this in a second, but with Facebook video ads, you can build custom audiences off of viewers of your video. Probably should have mentioned this a little more at the beginning in case people don't know that.
That's really, really important, especially if you've heard us talk anything about cost per pixel, and the office hours that I did last week or the week before on traffic temperature and how you use paid traffic to really build relationships with people and go from the cold prospect, hi, my name is Molly, to a buyer and a brand evangelist. So that's really important what Keith just said. You can use these videos to build custom audiences, which means you can run ads to these people in the future. So that's really important because this is a cheap way to build up audiences of people that you can then retarget later down the line, just like we've talked about.
Yep, totally. Yeah, my original headline, my original first sentence of that article was, how would you like to build your custom audiences 10 times faster for the same price?
And that's
what you're doing.
So important.
And so we'll show you how to do that. So basically, when I'm going to promote somebody else's product, I want to build my own audience at the same time. And I would do other campaigns. This isn't the only one I would do. I was also running a regular image ad where this was an image and was just a clickable link taken into my blog where there was another video talking about it, the machine, and then also my bonuses eventually once it opened, and then I would link to their pages from my blog. So guess what? Now I'm building custom audiences with my video, and I'm also building custom audiences with my other ads, taking people to my blog. I'm not sending as much traffic. I'm missing out. I know I'm losing people, but I don't care because the long term, I'm building my audiences and building my brand, building trust with the people out there. And so when it comes around, when the machine opens up, my list, which is half the size, or probably a tenth of the size of some of the other guys that are promoting it, ends up getting as many a lot more sales conversions compared to the number of people that have opted in, because they've seen all this stuff, and then they're getting the reminder videos. So I did the same thing. I pulled out the screenshot, but I did a similar campaign almost 2 years ago for the Black Friday webinar that you guys do. It was the one in 2013, and nobody knew who I was
Yeah,
at all.
awesome.
And I would just run a video ad, and then I ran that right into your opt-in page. In that case, all I did was run one video ad the whole time, and I linked right to their webinar, the $7 webinar registration. It was a $7 webinar, and I ended up taking second in that promotion. And I did some email marketing, but my email site was so small it didn't really even do much. But so those are some examples of frameworks, when you would use video. And I wish I would have pulled I was going to pull that one other stat because it's important. And about, what time is it? No, we don't have time for that. Never mind. Basically about sequencing. The one thing that there was a test ran with Facebook about sequencing, and they did a direct response campaign with Refinery 29, and they found that a traditional just direct response trying to build subscriptions, a traditional like a link post ad, direct response ad, compared to running a branding video first and then following that up with a direct response campaign. The branding video initially, that campaign, excuse me, ended up, oh man, I got a seed in my throat, dang it. Excuse me, so.
Somebody call 911.
Okay. So, excuse me. I just gave myself the Heimlich, so we're good. So anyway, the one that's preceded with video increased traffic to the landing page by 87% and increased opt-in by 56%. So huge difference. So